Hi, it's Stacey here from Hunter Region Landcare Network, and I'm pleased to be here today with Eric Huber of Earthcare Park Landcare.
The Earthcare Park is, it's a part of East Maitland. We've got an area here which is about 35 hectares. Over the course of the last, say, 15 to 20 years, there's been close to about 50 to 60,000 trees which have been planted here.
What drives you to participate in Landcare? What's your passion?
When I started to have children, I just wanted to make sure that there was a better environment that the kids would grow up in. The biggest change that we've seen has been in just the bird species. 7 years ago, we had surveys done throughout the year and we had, I think it was 37 different species of birds. Last year, that count got up to 103 species. So there's a significant change which is happening here on this land.
We've got several of the little nests built by the red-browed finch in this hakea bush. Nice and spiky protective cover for them.
And as we develop the grasses and also the shrubs, I'm certain that just like the old adage, if you build it, they will come. So hopefully in the next few years, we'll see a significant change.
We have an activity going on here tonight.
We're setting up a whole bunch of bat traps. We did observe in some of the cameras that we set up that we had some microbats. Part of what we're doing here is to try and determine whether there's other microbats in the area, what type of species they might be. Well, most microbats in the Hunter Valley are endangered.
Hi, I'm here with Michael from Forest Fauna Surveys, and he's just set up 3 of these harp traps.
They're called a harp trap for the sole reason that they look like a harp, a musical harp. So they're just 2 banks of vertical fishing line. Now the fishing line can't get detected by the sonar of the microbats. So what happens is the bats usually go through the first line of fishing line but get caught up in the second. And so then they drop down and they fall into this bag, and as you can see, it's just made of a calico, and they have this plastic here, and that just stops them climbing back up. Any animals in there, you take them out, measure them, weigh them, check that they're healthy, measurements of their wings, and then we just release them. And most of the bats that'll be here tonight roost in the tree hollows. So they will fly around at night just picking off insects. And because we've got a swamp down here, high insect activity through mosquitoes and things like that, so there's probably a lot of bat activity in this area. So even though there's hollows here, they can actually fly quite a long distance, 20, 30 kilometres, to get to their food source. So when we spotlight tonight, we should see a lot of moths and things flying around. And so that means there's a lot of insect activity, and that usually means we'll get bats.
Look forward to seeing what we catch. Early the next morning, upon checking the harp nets, we discovered 2 different species of microbats had been caught. These microbats were then measured, checked, and logged into the Atlas of Living Australia. The microbats were released later that evening. How do you feel about being a part of the group and making that difference?
Being involved in an attempt to restore an area like this to something like its original condition is just a satisfying thing to do.
And I enjoy coming to meet other people, like-minded people, and I'm just so impressed with the plantings that have been done over the last 20 years.
What are the biggest impacts that you think you've made to the environment and to the community over these past few years here?
The greatest significance that we've seen is not just habitat, but we're also trying to change the soil types. The area itself has had many uses over the years. There's been a quarry that's had a rifle range in it, a stock holding area. It's been a dairy farm, a multitude of uses here, and each and every one has degraded the area. The Earthcare Park is all about changing the landscape, regenerating the area, trying to turn it back into the bushland that we had here originally. As you can see around here, the trees that we've put in are quite substantial. They're only 15 years old, but 95% of what you see here have been planted.
It's something everybody should be involved in, just so they can appreciate what's in their environment.
And I like getting my hands dirty and getting down and weeding the natural environment.
Try to ensure that there's somewhere really nice I can bring my young family. A really good little place. There's lots of wildlife.
To get involved with Earthcare Park Landcare or another group in your local area, just go to hunterlandcare.org.au and click on the groups page.